So I took a nap, and when I woke up, they were saying, you weren't just telling your mother you didn't want any foster kids in here. You made it sound like this is your apartment, and this means that you had the right to say that. It is my apartment, and I have a right to say I don't want any children in this apartment. They're upset now because they said that doesn't sound the way they thought it would sound. Yeah. None of the things they're accusing me of sounds the way they thought it would sound once it's made public. So when they're talking right now, they're saying, we didn't expect you to say these things publicly. Yeah, that's why I'm saying it publicly. Because none of the shit that they're accusing me of saying or doing sounds anything like the morality police. It sounds like a bunch of pedophiles, abusers, who are setting me up to be disbelieved, to be put out there as some weirdo. When I'm saying it out loud, it shows that I'm not the weirdo, I'm not the abuser, and I'm definitely not a pedophile. So they're saying now, well, you don't sound like what we thought you would sound like. Exactly, because you weren't listening to me all this time, but you were trying to set me up. And now that the setup has been exposed, it doesn't sound anything like what they thought it would sound like. It sounds exactly like I said it is. It was a setup, and they wanted to have children around. Then, on top of that, they wanted to twist things when I don't want children around, which means I don't have any reason to be around children, to make it sound like I'm a bad guy. No. What I'm doing is putting this out there publicly. I have absolutely no reason not to. And telling you who's involved in wanting to have children around and who they're now accusing of different things. So now they said, of course, I didn't do anything wrong. But the other people from years ago did something wrong. I'm not in contact with those people. Then why would they put me in contact with those folks? That's my point to you. So let's start to figure out what they're actually doing. There are people who I used to know years ago who I have not been in contact with, who now these people talking are accusing of committing the worst type of crimes imaginable. I would not have known that because I wasn't in contact with them. So then why were they going to put these people in contact with me? And on top of that, try to say that I was working with them on any business for any reason. Do you see what they're trying to do to me and what the whole setup was? To put me in contact with people doing the wrong thing and then claim that the two of us or the group of us were doing the wrong thing. But every time I do a video, I'm exposing I was not in contact with these people. I would not know what they were doing, let alone if it was the right thing, wrong thing. And I was not in any way interested in doing anything or having anything to do with children. And that's my point to you. By putting this out there publicly, you notice how they keep saying their narratives keep shifting. We went from I'm horrible to you're not horrible. You did this. No, you didn't do this. You accomplished that. No, you didn't accomplish that. But yeah, what you said is right. You accomplished these things. And that's my point. They thought that this was going to sound the way they wanted it to sound because they are liars. That's what liars do. When they're caught in a lie, they start to shift narratives and change the facts. There's no changing facts. Facts are just that, facts. Facts. So every day I'm going to keep coming on camera, keep exposing every word they say, everything they do. So they said this is what they normally do before someone dies. Yeah, because that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to kill me. Have you ever said to yourself, I'm going to do this right before someone dies? How would you know the person's going to die? I'm 49 years old. Why would anyone think I was going to die unless they're the ones trying to kill me? There is no program, folks. There's no program. And that's what I'm telling you. So they're now trying to talk along with me talking. Like I said, I'm talking to you here and they're like this to confuse me. There's no confusion in any of this. I was there. They were not. Where were they? If I'm in my apartment, where were they? So they said, oh, well, if you're saying stuff out loud, then that would be something. Why would I say something out loud I don't want people to hear? I'm saying it right here in the video. So they're really nervous. Well, when did you realize we were doing this to you? When did you realize we were doing this to you? Why would it matter if you're not ashamed that you were doing it? They're ashamed they were doing it. And most of all, they're ashamed that now that everyone sees and can hear what they're saying and doing, they're not going to be believed because they're liars. And that's the problem with these types of people. They lie. And when they're being exposed and other people are saying the same thing, I'm not the only person saying that these people are behind child abuse of all sorts. So now they want to change it to being about me. I've never been a child abuser. I would never be a child abuser. I don't even want children around. How much less child abusive could that be? Which goes back to what I've been telling you before. If I don't want children around, I don't want this situation to be private. I want it to be out publicly. I want them to be in court and talk about all this stuff because to me, this is the worst filthy group I've ever. I could not even have written this. This is beyond my writing. So now they're obsessed with the fact that I wanted to use my name and my story, but it's already being used. How could I and my likeness, my name and my true story be used by somebody else? And how did I find out about that? I told you before. Again, I'm knowing things that I shouldn't know because they told me. I didn't know prior to them telling me, which proves that they were telling me these things. If the book was written or published in 1997, how did I not know until they told me in 2019? How? And if this was going on this whole time, why did they wait till what they claim is before I'm about to die? Now, who would know when I'm about to die? They clearly don't because they've been telling me I was supposed to die in my early 40s. That's what they said. Then they said I was supposed to die in about 2021. They insisted I was going to die. Last year, they insisted I was going to die. So I'm not dead. So if they know I'm supposed to die, then what happened? Why didn't I die? Because they got exposed, too much attention on this situation. So they said, you don't have a coalition. Now, I told you back when they first said that word, I said, that's not a word I would use. I don't use the word coalition. Why would somebody out of nowhere say coalition? And all of a sudden you see that word in the news. How would I have known the word coalition was going to be a thing if they had not told me? So what that means for me, according to them, is I don't have enough people who care about me. So I can be killed. I can be falsely accused of things. But there are enough people who know me. So you don't have to care about me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to be around me to know me and say, why would out of everyone in the world they predict I'm going to die, do all these things, invade my privacy, not find anything that I've actually done wrong, and suddenly start accusing me of things, suddenly start saying things that they think, I think, you think. We're not talking about who thinks these things. We're not talking about what these people say. We're talking about facts. Facts. And the fact is that if anyone in the world thinks that someone should be killed because they don't have a coalition, because they're not liked, or because people hate them, or that's a problem. That's a problem. We don't just kill people. Okay? We don't just kill people. That's not what we do. You mean it's okay to just kill people because you just don't like that person? Because those people aren't going to go along with your plan to bring children around? That's what it sounds like, doesn't it? So every single time they speak, they're going to be exposed. That's what I'm going to do. Speak and you will be exposed. Thank you for watching.